Why buying a home now is like buying toilet paper in May. Hey, thanks for tuning back in. My name is Robert Mack, and today I want to talk to you guys about the market a little bit. And it's kind of a funny joke, and I've seen it been circulating around the internet, but I'm seeing a lot of memes out there that say buying a home in today's market is like trying to buy toilet paper in May. Now, I know everyone in the whole world understands what it was like to look for and find and ultimately buy toilet paper in May. It was almost impossible. The shelves were empty. And the reason why I'm bringing this example up is because everybody can relate to it. Right now, the market is essentially on fire in terms of home sellers being able to fetch the highest and best price in the shortest amount of time. It is a very strong seller's market. In fact, it's the strongest seller's market I have seen since I started selling real estate back in 2006, primarily for two reasons. The first reason is inventory is dramatically low. It's about 40% to 50% lower than previous years. And we all know that supply and demand, when there's a low supply, the demand is high for that product. And right now that's what we're seeing in the real estate world. And then if you add interest rates and how low they are also historically low. The cost to borrow money for a buyer right now is lower than it's ever been. So now you've got this really high buyer demand due to low inventory, and then this really high buyer demand because many buyers want to buy a property and secure the lowest interest rate so that their monthly payment is as low as it can possibly be. And so anytime a great home comes on the market and it's priced to sell, it's gone. I mean, when I'm talking about gone, I'm talking about 10 to 20 offers in the first 2 days, right? And that's unusually fast. Last weekend, I showed a few properties to a first-time buyer of mine. She fell in love with one of them. By day 3, we submitted an offer. They already had 7 offers, and the seller accepted an offer on day 2. And we came in strong. So today's video is to the buyers out there that are looking to buy, some tips on how to get their offers accepted. And then we're going to talk a little bit about sellers and what sellers can do to maximize the sale of their home. So let's jump right in. If you're a buyer, be ready. I just said it. Homes are selling in 1 to 2 days. So if you're a buyer and you see a house, and after you see the house, you tell your agent, hey, we're gonna think about it, we'll get back to you tomorrow, that might be enough time for you to miss out on the property. So as you miss out on other properties, you're gonna start to evolve as a buyer and get smarter and understand that you have to make decisions like that. Now, if you're a buyer that's just starting out, you have the upper hand. You can make decisions like that because you know now that that's what it takes to get your offer accepted. Number 2, be aggressive. I've said this in the past many times. More is less, okay? And what I mean by that is you may have to pay slightly more for a home than you actually want to, or maybe than it's even worth. But what happens is when you buy that property and you close escrow, that sale is recorded. The next home that gets listed in that neighborhood is gonna be listed for $5, $10, $15, $20,000 more than the home you just bought. If you got that home because you were aggressive, congratulations, because when the next home sells, you now have instant equity. However, if you miss out on that property, you're the one that's gonna have to pay $5, $10, $15, $25,000 more on the next sale versus maybe just paying $3,000 to $5,000 more on the home that you could have bought that you didn't because you missed out, because you weren't aggressive enough. Number 3, be flexible. Sellers have life going on. Some sellers need time to transition from their home to the next. Some sellers want a short escrow. Some sellers want a longer escrow. If you're a buyer out there and you have the ability to be flexible, you may be able to stand out from your competition who may not be as flexible. And number 4, be unattached. It's really hard. When you are attached to something and you don't get what you want, it changes your mindset and you become frustrated, depressed, maybe even get to a point where you give up. And the reality is giving up is not the best solution, especially if you want to buy a home and you qualify to buy a home. So when you submit an offer, you need to understand that, hey, we're going to put our best foot forward. We're going to do everything we can to get this place. And if it works, awesome. But if it doesn't, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Another one will pop up. So those are the 4 tips I have for buyers. For sellers, there are several things that you want to make sure that you do to maximize the sale of your property. I would say number one is speak to an agent and speak to them early. Interview agents, find somebody great, and make sure that you're working with somebody that actually has a specific strategy. I can't tell you how often I've heard, it doesn't really matter who I hire, whether I pay 4% or 6% or 3%, it doesn't matter. The market's hot, my home will sell. That is not true. A home may sell, but you're not going to get a record price if you don't have the right strategy. So number one, meet with an agent early. Number two, whatever agent you hire, make sure you have the right strategy. The reason why strategy is important is because when the market is hot, that's when you can get away with selling your home for potentially more than what it's worth, right? If a buyer is desperate to buy and inventory is low and rates are great and you spend time preparing your property for sale and it looks great and you have a great agent who's going to expose it to everybody, and on top of that you have a great pricing strategy that's going to maximize exposure, you will get multiple offers, and the price that your home sells for very likely may sell for higher than what we can justify, which is what we call in our industry setting a record. And then new sales after your home sells will continue to build on that price. And for sellers out there, being flexible and understanding that buyers are in the same boat. Buyers have life going on. There's hectic times. They're trying to do the best they can to get into your property, submit a great offer. So understanding that, you don't have to pull the trigger so fast on day one or day two. You can spend 3 or 4 days sifting through the offers to make sure you get the highest and best price. So at the end of the day, right now there's opportunity for buyers and sellers. Sellers are getting great prices for their property and they're selling quick, and buyers are finding great opportunities and able to secure those low interest rates as the market moves forward. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found value in this video today. If you did, and you know somebody that might benefit from watching this video, please send it to them. If you found us on social media, give me some social media love. If you ever want to talk to me about buying or selling real estate in Orange County, or in fact anywhere in the country, I'd love to be a resource for you. And if you have any video ideas you ever want me to talk about in the future, send those my way as well. Until then, happy selling.